everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Let's see what else is on, yeah? Let's see here.
ES350 for $319 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Now get 50% off all pizzas when you order online.
Yeah, so.
Pizzas, handmade pan pizzas, even barbecue banana pepper pizzas. If you're into that, now through December 7th, get 50% off the menu price of 34 million pizza combinations at Domino's.com.
How is everyone doing? Hey, WDB, is Washington winning? I just turned this on, so I don't know the score, but is Washington winning the Pac-12 championship game? WDB, let me know. Woo! I don't even know who's I don't keep up with the Pac-12 like that, so I know Washington's in it because you said they were the best team ever. So I know Washington's in it, but who's Washington playing? Let me know. Anyway, I told y'all the other day, I took a couple of days off this week. I'm doing some remodeling in here. That's part of it over there. I got a lot more still to do. And everybody said you should have waited till football season was over to do that. Yeah, I get that, but I wanted to do it, so that's what I did. But I really don't know what the score is of this game. 7-0 Southern Cal. I picked Southern Cal to win this one. And to cover the spread. So I pretty much expect that to happen. But let's get in these comments here. Yeah, I heard about Ole Miss. Another year, bowl ban, and some more Schollies gone. What's up, Bert? Yeah, I've seen part 4. Y'all check out Squid Tard. He made Uncle Lou Escapes the Fourth Dimension, part 4. So y'all be sure and click on his channel if you're not already. I talk about that all the time. But click on his channel, sub him up. Stanford got booed coming onto the field? That's humiliating. Do you admit UGA is one Herschel Walker away from being Ole Miss? No, I don't. Uncle Lou, did the Vols offer you a head coach? They offered everybody else. I'm waiting on the call. I think they might have offered the job to General Voltar because I have not seen him in a while. I was hoping we would see him this week so he could talk about all this mess that's going on up there on Rocky Flop. But I haven't heard from him or seen him all week, so he may be up there interviewing. I don't know. My score prediction for what? The Georgia game? 31-30 Georgia. What's up, Brian? Slim, Stick Pig, JSO. Good luck tomorrow, JSO. You're an Auburn fan, and you don't act like a complete idiot in the comment section, so I can respect that. So good luck to you guys tomorrow. I hope Kerryon Johnson can play. It's an obvious advantage to Georgia. I don't even like to talk about injuries because, you know, people can take it the wrong way, and I don't think it's funny when people get injured or anything like that. But it would be an obvious advantage for Georgia if Kerryon Johnson couldn't play tomorrow. But I never want anybody to get injured, so I hope he can play tomorrow. South Carolina finishes second next year. They finished second this year, didn't they? Yeah, UGA versus Marquette. Basketball. Thoughts on, what did that say? Uncle Lou, thoughts on OSU winning? I guess you're talking about Ohio State. Well, you haven't been watching Uncle Lou every day like you're supposed to. I did talk about that earlier. I picked Wisconsin to win. JT Barrett just way too inconsistent. Could Ohio State win? Yeah, JT Barrett could come out and play like he played in the second half against Penn State, and Ohio State can win the game. But the guy's too up and down for me to pick Penn State, especially at 6 points. No way I'm betting that game, Penn State -6. Penn State could win by 20, but like I said, I don't have enough faith in JT Barrett. So I'm picking Wisconsin to win that game. Who would UJ match up best with in the playoffs? Probably somebody like a Wisconsin. I mean, I'm not going to lie. You may have caught this. To me, the team that's playing the best football right now, especially offensive football, is Oklahoma. So, I mean, I'm not scared of anybody, but I think Oklahoma's going to be dangerous in the playoffs. I think Georgia stacks up pretty good against Wisconsin, I think, but we'll see. Georgia would blow out Oklahoma. I'm not sure about that. I think we could beat them. We'd have to slow them down, keep their offense off the field. We're not going to win a shootout with Oklahoma, so the defense would have to have a good game. No one cares what you think. You're always wrong. Yet here you are watching all the time. So, and no, I'm not always wrong. People only notice when I'm wrong. This ain't my first rodeo. I've been doing this for years and years and years. And I actually had a pretty good year. Somebody was in the comment section of an old video today when I did all those preview videos over the summer, and I did that Auburn preview. And I forget what the comment was, but it was basically something like, ha, 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 you're such an idiot. Look how wrong you were. So I went back and watched the video, and I said I said Auburn could go 9-3. And what are they, 10-2? So I was one game off. So yeah, I'm an idiot. Who knows nothing. Let's see. Do I like the Fulmer move? No, I don't. I don't. It's just a complete mess up there. I know there's a lot of fans that worship Fulmer. The same fans that ran him off 10 years ago, though. I mean, I just don't get it. They ran Philip Fulmer out of town on a rail 10 years ago. And now they're acting like this is the best thing that's ever happened to them. I really don't understand it. Do I think Texas A&M will be good in a couple of years? That's impossible to say. I mean, it looks like Jimbo Fisher's going there. But I don't know. I mean, define good. Can they win 10 games? To win 10 games would be good for them, right? Tennessee fans are delusional. Yeah, I tend to agree. It's not even really fun to pick on them anymore. If I picked with my picks tomorrow, of course I picked Georgia. I picked Clemson, I picked Wisconsin, and I picked Oklahoma. If that holds true, then Alabama will not make the playoff. I think Ohio State or Oklahoma has to lose for Alabama to make the playoff. So I think they're going to be on the outside looking in. They'll get a New Year's Six bowl, so probably either the Peach Bowl or the Orange Bowl. Jimbo's a very rich man. All college coaches are very rich men. Bama will make it. Just watch it. They'll make it if Ohio State or TCU wins. Yes, Alabama will make it. That's the only way. Wisconsin or Oklahoma has to lose for Alabama to make it. Oh, there'll be plenty of dog fans at the game tomorrow. I can promise you that. There's a red out. They want everybody to wear red, which I never really understood. Get the word out. Tell all the Georgia fans to wear red. That's what Georgia fans wear, unless you specifically tell them to wear something else. They're gonna wear red. So yeah, there'll be plenty of Georgia fans. It'll be over 50% Georgia fans. I can assure you. Yeah, Ohio State's not making it. It's just not happening. The only way Ohio State makes it is if they beat Wisconsin and Oklahoma loses. Then they might get in. If Wisconsin loses and Oklahoma loses, then you're going to have Alabama and Ohio State in. with the winner of the ACC and the winner of the SEC. If only one of those two teams win, then Alabama's getting in ahead of Ohio State. I mean, if you're an Ohio State fan and you think you're getting in ahead of Alabama, you're just not. I mean, is Alabama an average team? Yeah, duh, obviously, yes, of course they are. But Ohio State, you shouldn't have given up 55. It's not even that you lost to Iowa; it's the way you lost. You know that screwed you right there. Fields is not going to flip to the Gators. Just give that up. I bet Ohio State will get in if they win. Not unless I mean, I'll make that bet with you if you want. Ohio State will not get in if they win unless Oklahoma loses. If Ohio State wins, they put Bama. Then Ohio State just put Alabama in the playoff. It's just that simple. Why do you keep asking, is name Jeff? No. There's plenty of people on here who know my name, and it's not Jeff. I'm not sure why you keep asking that. You did that last time, too. Bama needs to run Bo Scarborough more. He only has 6 carries in the Iron Bowl. Listen, with Bo Scarborough, I'm sorry. Look, I get it. As a fan, you think that every running back you get is the greatest ever. I'm sort of every fan is guilty of that. But I've been hearing about this Bo Scarborough since 2015, and I'm sorry, the guy's never done anything. Now, you say he's really, really good, and maybe he is, but he's never been good enough to start for you. So, or even get really significant carries. You said it yourself. The dude had 6 carries in the Iron Bowl. So, whether it's Derrick Henry or whoever these other running, what's the other guys now, Damian Harris, whoever it is, someone is always better than Bo Scarborough. People have been telling me what a freak Bo Scarborough is since his junior year of high school, and the guy's yet to do anything in college to impress me. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and I'm not picking on Bo Scarborough. Hell, he's a backup. He hardly ever plays. There's no point in picking on him. But I don't understand what you're saying there. Bo Scarborough needs to play more. Well, he's been there forever and a day, and it seems to me he's probably not going to be playing more than I mean, it seems to me that's what he is. He's a backup running back. Yes, the Stanford tree is the worst mascot. It's one of the silliest for sure. Todd Gurley or Nick Chubb, Todd Gurley, and it's not close. I catch a lot of heat on that from dog fans for various reasons. You know, a lot of dog fans are still upset with Todd Gurley about the autograph thing. Plus, Todd Gurley's not from Georgia. And there's a certain percentage of Georgia fans who are just obsessed with recruits being from the state of Georgia. I've seen Todd Gurley and Nick Chubb on the same field at the same time multiple times, live, with my own eyes. There is no comparison, okay? Nick Chubb is a really good running back. Todd Gurley is once-in-a-generation talent, okay? That's just the way it is. Todd Gurley is better than Nick Chubb. The stats, I get it. Nick Chubb's got all these yards. That's fine. He's been there 4 years. Gurley was there 3, sat out with suspensions and injuries. Chubb did too, injury-wise. Anyway, the point is, Nick Chubb is I love Nick. I would take Nick Chubb every year. I love Nick Chubb. He's not Todd Gurley. Yeah, Gurley's from North Carolina, like Tarboro, I think. Tarboro, North Carolina. Do I think Stid Baloney is good now? He's average. He's not the best quarterback in the SEC, and there's not a lot of great quarterbacks in the SEC, but he's a decent quarterback. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how well he plays without Kerryon Johnson. We'll see if he can carry the team if Kerryon Johnson sits out. Saban's recruiting this week, going good. Yeah, well, he's got plenty of free time this week. Don't he? Woo! Ron Jeremy, come on. Be more creative than that, or I'll just block you.
You want to go play catch?
This Christmas, for all for less means more.
10th-ranked USC, 7-0 as we start the second quarter. I want to bring in our rules expert, Bill Lamagnier, and go back to that last play. Bill, they said that
I said when, who was it? Auburn against Texas A&M. I watched that game, right? That was the first Auburn game I had watched start to finish. I had watched parts of all their games this year, but that was the first game I watched start to finish. And Kerryon Johnson had, I think, 35 or 36 carries in that game. Same play every time, right up the middle. 2-3 yards, 2-3 yards, 5 yards, 2 yards, 6 yards, 2 yards, 4 yards. And I remember watching that game, and I even told some people, that dude's not going to make it to the end of the year. There's no way. Then they come out against Georgia, same thing. Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson. There was nobody to back Kerryon Johnson up. I mean, the guy's huffing and puffing, can barely breathe. They had no one to send in for him. Now, I know they have other running backs, but they must not trust him or they must not be any good. They come out against Alabama, Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson. And the Joker played good. But now he's hurt. You know, both shoulders don't work. Whatever else might be wrong with him. And now all of a sudden that he may not play or may not be 100%, I hear Auburn fans telling me about all these other running backs they have that are really, really good. Well, if all these other running backs you have are really, 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 really good, why did Kerryon Johnson have to run the ball 125 times between Texas A&M, Georgia, and Alabama, while all these other All-American running backs you have waiting on the sideline were busy drinking up all the Gatorade on the sideline? So no, I don't believe that those running backs are all that good, or they would have been giving Kerryon a rest every once in a while. Cam Martin is good. Okay. He's hurt too. Cam Martin hurt. Kerryon Johnson hurt. Cam Petaway hurt. Herschel or Barry Sanders? That's close. Those are my two favorite running backs of all time, regardless, pro, college, NFL, whatever. Those are my two favorite running backs of all. I loved Barry Sanders when I was a kid. I used to love to watch him play. Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith, he was okay at Florida. And of course, in the NFL, everybody knows what he did. But he played on a loaded team in the NFL. And isn't he the all-time yardage leader, too? So, yeah, he was a good running back. But I never, I never loved him like I did Herschel or Barry Sanders or... I tell you somebody else that sort of, he never really got going in the NFL, and this one's more recent. But Darren McFadden for Arkansas. In college, when you watched him play, I mean, he looked like a man playing with boys in college, and he never really panned out in the NFL. But he was another really, really fun one to watch in college. Michael Vick. Michael Vick almost won the national championship against, who was that? Florida State? All by himself. I think it was against Florida State. Anyway, Virginia Tech, of course, Mike Vick played for Virginia Tech. Terrible team, but they had Mike Vick, and he almost won that national title game all by himself that year. He was fun to watch, too. Nickelback or Linkin Park? I actually like Linkin Park. I don't know if that's something that's supposed to be cool to say, or if that's one of those Nickelback things that make fun of people. I don't like Nickelback, but I actually do like Linkin Park. I hope that's not something that makes me weird or something. Lord knows the last thing I want to do is be considered weird. Earl Campbell, a little before my time. Slipknot or Slayer? Slipknot. Limp Bizkit or Creed? Limp Bizkit. I've used some Limp Bizkit in my videos before, not very often, but a couple of times. Walter Payton, him and Barry Sanders were my two favorite running backs when I was a kid growing up. Journey or REO Speedwagon? I'm going to go Journey on that one. You're welcome, TZ. He said I introduced him to Tool. You know, it's a funny thing. I guess people ask why the Tool all the time. Hold on, where's my drink go? When Schism came out, and shoot, that was 20 years ago now. That was the first Tool CD, I guess, at the time, that I'd ever heard. I didn't listen to Tool before that with Anima and the other ones. But anyway, so I listened to a friend of mine was into Tool, and Schism came out, and we listened to it. That's like you know how it was back when you were in high school or whatever, and a CD came out and you liked it, it's all you listened to. That's how we were with that Tool CD. And then I never listened to Tool again until 4 or 5 years ago. So probably 15 years went by. I never listened to Tool again. And then I don't know if I heard a Tool on the radio or on Pandora or what, and started listening to it again, and started using it in a lot of my videos on YouTube. And I'll tell you a secret, especially if any of you make videos. I know some of you do, but typically if you use any music at all in your video, then you can't monetize the video. YouTube copyright system picks it up, and they flag the video as copyright protected. You still upload the video, it still plays fine, you just can't monetize it. For whatever reason, about 9 times out of 10 when I put a Tool song on here, it goes through without a hitch, and YouTube doesn't flag it as copyrighted. So that's another reason I use them a lot. But I use a lot of different, Tool is the band I use the most, but I use a lot of other, I've used Dave Matthews before. I've used, like I said, Limp Bizkit. I've used all kinds of Kid Rock. I've used all kinds of stuff. Oh, I love Prince. Somebody's going to make fun of me, I guess. You know, it doesn't really matter. No matter what I say, somebody's going to make fun of me about it. But yeah, I love Prince. I was a big Michael Jackson fan too. Not just like in the 80s when he was popular, but I mean like forever. I think Michael Jackson was a musical genius. Now I'm not getting into all the other stuff that happened at his ranch and all, you know, whatever. If he did that, he's a sick individual. But I have the ability of separating. You know, I'm not one of these people that I don't understand this, by the way. Some musician or actor or something will be doing an interview, right? And they'll ask them some sort of political question. Like Trump seems to be the one they want to do lately. And then the person will say something bad about Trump, right? And then all these people will go, "Wow, that's it. I'm never watching any more movies with him in it again." How butthurt and snowflakey do you have to be to allow an actor that you don't even know in real life, or a musician, you don't even know these people, and you're letting their political beliefs or whatever stop you from enjoying a movie or listening to that's so stupid to me. But a lot of people do it. You know, boycott the Dixie Chicks. You know, now they boycotting Bruce Springsteen now because he might have said something. Hell, if you're one of these people, you can't watch any movies or TV shows because all those people are loony left-wing tree huggers. Every one of them are, whether they get on TV and say it or not. I don't understand that. But anyway, I have the ability of separating someone's personal life from what they do creatively, as far as music or movies or TV shows or whatever. I really don't care. You know, Kevin Spacey's a sick individual if he did that to those underage kids or whatever. But I'm pissed off that they had basically have to cancel House of Cards now. I'm hooked on that House of Cards. I don't know if any of you watch that. It's a Netflix political show, thriller type drama show, whatever. He's the president. Starts out as a congressman, then vice president, becomes president, Kevin Spacey. Well, they fired him. Of course, Netflix did, because of all this harassment crap or whatever. And they were right in the middle of filming the next season of House of Cards. Now, it's not like he's just some side character or something on the show. He's the main one. He's the president. I mean, he's the main guy. So I guess the show is just canceled now. I mean, how you just can't replace him like you watched it last season? And they've had like 6 seasons of House of Cards now. This guy's president. All of a sudden you turn on season 7 and it's just a new guy playing the president? I don't know. So because this guy's a perv and can't keep his his pecker in his pants, now Uncle Lou gets robbed of the ability to watch House of Cards. That's what pisses me off. Not the fact that Kevin Spacey might have voted for Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders or something. Real stuff is what pisses me off. Like football stuff. That's real. Anyway, how many people did I run off with that rant there? That's it. I'm not watching Uncle Lou anymore because he doesn't boycott people who voted for Hillary. Do I like Scream, the movie, the original one from like 20 years ago? Yeah, I haven't seen it in forever, but it was. It was sort of groundbreaking when it came out because it was a whole new twist on the horror thing that had never been done before. What's up, B. Currington? Yeah, that's what I said. Underage kids with Kevin Spacey. Yeah. I have a mustache of a 14-year-old boy. I don't have a mustache, do I? I guess I haven't shaved in a few days. I don't know. You're not trying to date me, are you? If not, I'm not really sure why it concerns you anyway. Be honest about it. No, I don't smoke P-Funks. Three Florida State commits flipped to Florida. Is that true? Tiger Woods, yeah. I was surprised. I'll piss y'all off again. I'm a huge Tiger Woods fan. I've never been into golf, except for when Tiger Woods was dominating. I mean, you had to watch it then, didn't you? I did. And I don't know. I just think golf is better with Tiger Woods in it than it is with him not in it. I don't know. Does he have some problems and some issues? Yeah, sure. But hell, so do I. So I was glad to see him do good yesterday, and I guess today too. We'll see how he does over the weekend. I know his odds to win the Masters before this tournament started here. His odds to win the Masters were 66-1. Right now, they're 33-1. So in 2 days, just of him playing golf down in the Bahamas or whatever, the odds of him winning the Masters have been cut in half. I don't know. A lot of y'all might be younger than me, but when Tiger Woods was in his prime, there was nothing like it. There has never been anything like it before, and there probably won't be anything like it again ever. But these golf tournaments, there's 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 people playing in these golf tournaments. And the only way you could bet Tiger Woods when he was in his prime was you could take all 69 other people to win, or you could take Tiger Woods. The odds were the same. You could bet Tiger against the entire field. That's never happened in golf. Not with Jack Nicklaus, not with Arnold Palmer, not with Phil Mickelson, not with whoever's pretending to be good now. He just dominated people. He won. There was like a 10-year period where he won something like 60% of the tournaments he entered. I mean, that's just insane. So anyway, I'm rooting for the guy. Tony Romo got offered the Tennessee job. Have y'all seen all the memes on Facebook, like where Kim Jong-un got offered a job, or it's a picture of O.J. Simpson and he says, "I'll take a stab at it." The score is 7-7. Stanford versus Southern Cal. 7-7. Where am I watching the game? What, tomorrow? Here. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to stay. I'm just going to stay here tomorrow, I think. I'll watch all the games. Oklahoma TCU comes on at noon or 12:30. SEC game at 4. And then the ACC and the Big Ten game both come on at 8, so I'll have to flip back and forth on those or do picture-in-picture split screen.
Perfectly. Together, we make sure every two has a from. Get a free select power tool or battery when you buy select toolkits only at the Home Depot.
Yeah.
Saving. More to do it. It's the last gift. Unloading with Verizon Unlimited. So
Yeah, it's pretty sad they have to put... You know why the Pac-12 game is on Friday? Because if they had it tomorrow, no one would watch it. Because they'd be watching whatever other game was on. So they put it on tonight when there is no other game on. And try to force people to watch it.
Because the playoff is on, and it's going to be epic.
The college football playoff semifinals, New Year's Day on ESPN.
Yeah, I think Clemson wins that game pretty easy. Why do I wear cheesy sunglasses? Well, it started with the Georgia glasses. I don't even know. I think they're inside. The Georgia glasses are inside, but it started with those. Actually, it started with just sunglasses. Actually, the way it started is when I first started YouTube, I didn't live in this house. I lived in a different house. And I had a big screened-in porch off the back of my house, and that's where I did the videos. And the sun was always shining right in through the screen, so I used to wear sunglasses out there when I did all my videos. And so I just kept wearing them, even when I moved here and started doing them in the garage. And then I had the Georgia glasses, and I would wear those all the time. Anytime I made a Georgia video, any other video, I would wear the sunglasses. And then it just sort of took off from there. I mean, people would talk about the glasses all the time. People were making fake accounts in here called Uncle Lou's Sunglasses and stuff. It just kind of took off, so I just kept wearing them all the time. And now, if I'm out somewhere and I see like a funny-looking pair of glasses or whatever, I'll pick them up. Like I have these that I wear, the Christmas ones. I have these here, the tinfoil glasses that I wear with the tinfoil hat. Of course, they protect me from the government. Yeah. And these wanted glasses, where did I get these wanted? I was on vacation somewhere, and I was at I think it was a Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. Y'all ever been to one of those? And then when you get to the end, you have to walk through the gift shop to get outside. I think it was a Ripley's Believe It or Not, and they had a bin with a bunch of sunglasses in it, and these were in there for like $5 or whatever. Mrs. Lou is actually the ones that saw them, and she was like, "You need those for your Lou tube." And so I got them. I think that was 2 summers ago. So anyway, that's the story there. Yeah, the receivers got to make some plays. But here's the thing. I mean, I don't know. I've been down on our receivers for a couple of years now. They have a hard time separating from coverage. You know, and you can't really pinpoint who to blame. We've had freshman quarterbacks 2 years in a row. That's not ideal for a receiver. Is Jim Chaney not calling the right pass plays? Is the wide receiver coach not teaching these guys how to run complicated routes? I mean, it's hard to pinpoint where the blame is. I don't know, but I haven't been happy with our passing game since like 2013. Hey Lou, how much are your shirts? I think it depends whether you get a short sleeve, a long sleeve, or the hoodies. I think the short sleeve ones are around $20. The long sleeve ones, I think, are around $25. And I think the hoodies are like 30 or 35, I think. And the hats, I think, are 20 or 25. Are you doing that commercial? I don't think so. I haven't heard back. I had the first interview with the casting agency or whatever. And then they were like, okay, well, we did a bunch of these, and we send them all to the director, and then they're going to handpick a few that they want to talk to, and if you're one of the ones, they'll email you back. Well, then the directors emailed me back, and I did an interview type thing with the directors, and then they said, okay, well, we're gonna look these over and we'll let you know. And that was what, a week or 2 weeks ago, and I never heard anything back. So I don't think so. I don't think I'm doing it. It would have been fun though. Brett Bielema to Tennessee, I doubt that. Brett Bielema needs to get out of the SEC. He's just not cut out for it. I think whoever wins this SEC game, there's 3 candidates for Coach of the Year, in my opinion. Muschamp, Kirby, and Malzahn. I think Muschamp might be out right now. I would probably say whoever wins this game tomorrow would be Coach of the Year. What don't you get, Paul Warren? You don't get me? What don't you get? I'll explain it to you on a 3rd grade level where it's easy for you to understand. Yeah, Matt Landers, I've heard, and I was high on Jeremiah Holloman too, but he hasn't seen the field much this year either, so I don't know. Maybe Landers and Holloman will have a breakout year next year. We'll see. Why don't you go to UGA games? I usually go to 1 or 2 a year. This year I didn't go to any. It was a self-imposed ban that I imposed on myself this year. So I didn't go to any this year, but I normally go to 1 or 2 a year. I always go to the spring game every year too. I did go to the spring game this year, but I didn't go to any regular season games. People are offering me tickets almost every day in my email. I got offered tickets to the Tech game, tickets to the SEC championship game, a road ticket to the Auburn game, road ticket to the Tennessee game, tickets to the South Carolina. I got offered tickets to almost every game this year, free. But I just couldn't go this year. I'm not gonna lie. The older I get, the less I like going to games anyway. I'm a Georgia fan. I don't have to try to convince you guys of that. You know that. But I'm a huge college football fan, and I do enjoy going to games. But it's almost just as fun to me to sit here all day long on a Saturday and watch college football all day long. And I miss that if I go to a game. That's not to say I'll never go to another game again. I'll probably go to one next year or 2 or whatever. But I don't know. The older I get, I'm enjoying staying here and watching the games more. Or I'll go somewhere in town and meet up with a bunch of people like I did for the Georgia Tech game. I haven't been to the Florida game since 2013. Was the last time I went there. And that's the last time we won until this year. Alabama man, you must have made another account. How many times am I going to have to block you? How many accounts have you made, Alabama man? It's at least 5. You've made at least 5 different accounts. I keep blocking him, and then he creates another account, and but no, I don't want an apology, Alabama man. It won't mean anything. I mean, all you have to do is act right, and you can stay. It's that simple. I mean, so it's up to you whether you stay or go. It's not up to me. How average is Bama? I mean, they're pretty average. What's their best win? A barely win against Mississippi State? I mean, Alabama just wasn't that good this year. I mean, Alabama fans can get mad about that if they want to. They just weren't that good this year. They just weren't. I mean, there's no question about it. Over the last 10 years, Alabama's the best team. In the last, from 2008 till now, if you had to say which team's been the best over that 10-year period, it's Alabama without question. But Alabama just wasn't very good this year. And if they play Jalen Hurts at quarterback next year, they won't be very good next year either. Jalen Hurts is just not a good quarterback. He's just not. He's a running back. He's not even as good of a quarterback as Blake Sims was. He's just not a good quarterback. Alabama fans want to argue with me all year long when they're winning, even though them winning didn't have nothing to do with Jalen Hurts. But then as soon as they lose a game, you know, these same people who were telling me I was an idiot for saying Jalen Hurts wasn't a good quarterback, these same people are saying, I knew Tua should have been playing, not Hurts. Hurts is no good. He's not an SEC quarterback. He's a running back. Basically saying everything I've been telling them for a year.
What color is dusk in San Francisco? There's a whole world out there. And no other guard lets you experience it like a lefty guard.
Is McCole Hardman elite? I wouldn't. At what? I don't think so. He's exciting. He's a Isaiah McKenzie type. I mean, he's got a lot of potential. I wouldn't call him elite right now. Mike Leach is going to Tennessee? Maybe. I hope so. You know, I'm disappointed with Butch Jones getting fired like that. You know, I had those press conferences. I could look forward to that every week, the Butch Jones press conference. I knew he was going to give me something, some material I could use in a video. Mike Leach in the SEC would be gold for me. Every time the guy opens his mouth, he says something ignorant. You know, talking about Bigfoot and aliens and FEMA camps. I mean, the guy's all over the map. So I'm hoping Tennessee gets him. And on top of all that, he's just not a very good coach. He's just not. He's been at Texas. He's been coaching in the Power 5 forever and has no. How many division titles does he have? 0 conference titles. 0. I mean, I'm not scared of Mike Leach. Who will be the next star running back after Chuba Michelle leaves? Swift looks like the real deal already. Zeus, if he lives up to the potential, Zeus could be, you know, one of the all-time greats at UGA if he lives up to his to the hype. But Swift, I already know. I don't have to wonder about Swift. I've seen Swift do it on the college level. Swift is the real deal. Yeah, Justin Fields is not going to Florida. He's UGA. I don't blame Dan Mullen for giving him a call. I mean, what is Dan Mullen supposed to do? He shows up at Florida 3 weeks before signing day, because y'all know these kids can sign December 20th this year. They don't have to wait till February. So, you know, what's he going to do? Of course, he's going to call some people who are committed to other schools and talk to them. But Justin Fields not going anywhere. As soon as Dan Mullen left Justin Fields' house the other day, UGA super recruiter of the year, in my opinion, in college football. Dell McGee was pulling in the driveway right behind him. Justin Fields is all dog. He's locked down. He's not going anywhere. Justin Fields is too busy recruiting other players to come to UGA to worry with Florida. Florida fan told me the same thing about Jacob Eason about this same time in 2015 when Eason went and made a visit there. Oh, that's it. Now, what Florida's got to watch out for, Florida's going to end up screwing around and lose Matt Corral. Then they'll got no quarterback. You know, because you're not getting Fields. You got Corral committed, but you keep messing around and acting like you want Fields instead. Corral's liable to decommit and stay home. The kid's from the West Coast. Either one of these teams would be glad to have him. UCLA would be glad to have him. Cal. I mean, I could go on and on. There's plenty of teams on the West Coast where he's from that would be happy to have his services. He doesn't have to travel all the way across country just to play for Florida and Dan Mullen, if Dan Mullen is going to basically tell him we don't want you because we're trying to get somebody else. So we'll see what happens there. What's up, Jay Hacks? I'm doing good. How about you, buddy? What has Dan Mullen done? Nothing. Dan Mullen hasn't done anything. Nothing. Another guy that's never won a division, never won a conference title. Dan Mullen has never beat a team that finished with more than 9 wins in a season. Dan Mullen is 2-15 in ranked matchups. That is the worst record in the history of AP polling. People keep saying, oh, Lou, he was at Mississippi State. He'll have better talent at Florida. Look, I know Florida can recruit better kids than Mississippi State, but don't tell me Mississippi State is the worst place to coach in the history of the AP poll. That's BS. That's bull, okay? Yet Dan Mullen has the worst record in the history of AP polling in ranked matchups at Mississippi State. I'm not scared of Dan Mullen. Mississippi State did most of its damage at home with those cowbells. Those things aren't coming with him to Florida. Is he an upgrade over McElwain? I don't know. They're really the same person, aren't they? They were successful offensive coordinators who won national titles, riding someone else's coattails. Mullen, of course, rode the coattails of Urban Meyer who won a natty at Florida. Those two did, and then McElwain at Bama with Saban. You ran McElwain off to get, his shadow basically. The same. I don't get it. I don't know. We'll see. Who's Florida State gonna get? I haven't really been keeping up with the news today. What names are being thrown out there for Florida State? Or who do y'all think ends up there? Or who are they looking at? What do y'all think? Or what are y'all hearing? Scott Frost? Oh, Kevin Summons? So they're just gonna trade? I don't know about that. Lane Kiffin, that would be interesting. Gruden is not coaching college. Y'all need to give that up. Gruden is not coaching college football ever. Fuente, he's going to leave Virginia Tech already. Taggart, McElwain, no, I don't see that. Charlie Strong, that's a possibility, I guess. What's up, Drew? I'm doing good. Yeah, Mullen's not a terrible hire. Mullen's not a terrible hire. I just, it's funny to me when these Florida fans act like they're going to win a national title with Mullen, but 2 weeks ago they didn't want Mullen. It was all Chip Kelly. That's all you heard from Florida fans. Chip Kelly, Chip Kelly, Chip Kelly, Chip Kelly. These people were camped out at the airport, watching flight radar on their iPhones. That's all they wanted. If we get Chip Kelly, it's over. Chip Kelly's the best out there, and we're Florida. And then you don't get Chip Kelly, and then it's Scott Frost, right? Oh, Scott Frost, that's it. Look what he's done. Turned UCF around. Look, it's Scott Frost. It's Scott Frost. Not a word about Dan Mullen until y'all hired him, and now all of a sudden you're so happy you can't stand it. I don't know. I don't get it. You say what you want about UJ and Kirby Smart. You can say whatever you want. Good hire, bad hire, whatever. That was the guy we wanted, and that's who we got. Okay? We weren't like South Carolina that got told no 9 times. Tennessee is getting told no 1-2 times a day this week. They're up to 8, 9, 10 coaches now that have told them no. Florida, third choice with Mullen. So, at least, if Kirby Smart ends up being the greatest coach in history or the worst coach in history, at least Georgia got who they wanted. We didn't have to settle. Kelly was a fake deal to get Mullen. No, Kelly just told you no. It wasn't a fake deal. He just told you he just chose UCLA over Florida. It's that simple. There's nothing fake about it. They're in use. Somebody just asked about the UNCLELOU stuff. It's in kid sizes too. If you look in the description of most of my videos, not all of them. I try to put the link in all the videos, but sometimes I forget. But if you look in the description of my videos, you might have to click on 2 or 3 different videos before you find it. But if you look in the description, there'll be a link. It'll say want a shirt, and it's a link to a Spreadshirt store, and that's where you can get them. I think there's a site-wide sale on December. It's either December 4th or December 5th. Everything on Spreadshirt is on sale. I don't know. I think it's 10% off or something, or maybe it's free shipping. I forget what it is. But anyways, I don't really push those shirts. I could every video I make, I could spend 5 minutes begging people to buy the shirts, but it's really not that serious to me. But I do try to put the link in there because a lot of people asked for them. That's why. And I don't control the sales or whatever. But I get an email every once in a while. It'll say, "Hey, everything on Spreadshirt is going to be 1% off," and I think it's either December 4th or December 5th. I think everything is on there is 10% off. There's a code you have to use. I guess you can find it on the site on that day. I don't really know. So, Uncle Lou, were you interviewed? No, I didn't have time. I was way too busy. They did want to interview me this week, but unfortunately I had too much going on. Told you I'm doing some remodeling out here. Look at that's professional over there. And I'm not done. I'm nowhere near done, to be honest. But yeah. But I built that desk though. The legs gave me a lot of trouble. I'm not very good at whatever you call that, woodworking or whatever that is, building stuff. I'm not very good at it, but I like to do stuff like that every once in a while. I could have just went out and bought a $100 desk or something, right? But anyway, I like doing stuff like that every once in a while, and I've been wanting to do something new and different out here for a while. So anyway, I spent the last couple of days screwing around with that. I'm redoing all this too. And I want to get some type of flooring out here too. Y'all know, I mean, this is a garage, so it's just a concrete slab out here. And then I got a couple of rugs on the floor. You probably don't ever see those in the video, but there's just a couple of like area rugs on the floor out here for me. You know, when I do my videos, I pace back and forth like a crackhead. So there's a couple of area rugs out here, but I want to get some type of flooring out here, but I haven't really made up my mind yet what I want to get. And I think I'm going to paint, I'm not going to paint the whole garage or whatever, but I think I'm going to paint, you know, the Uncle Lou studio part of the garage. But I haven't decided exactly what I want to do with that either. And I'm doing the daily show. I've been saying I'm going to do it forever. I've started to do it 2 or 3 different times, and then I just quit doing it. I am going to do that. I'm going to start that. I'm not going to nail myself down yet to a day of when I'm going to start that. But I am going to do it, and I'm going to do it the right way. And so it's going to take me a little bit of time to get what I need to do that, but I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to get a computer out here if I have to, which I probably have to. I'm going to get a computer out here. Oh, y'all can leave me alone now about the internet too. You know how it always would mess up and stuff out here? I got that fixed now, okay? I called and had some words with my internet provider. Yeah. And wasn't happy with what they told me. So Uncle Lou went ahead and switched to someone else, internet provider, and it was 2 problems before. The speed was, well, 3 problems. The speed, too many people in here using too many different things like Netflix and all that, and it was just crappy service. It was in and out all the time. It was DSL service. I have cable internet now. And before, my internet before was like 50, maybe like 50 down, 7 or 8 up, which is not that good. Anyway, they come out here today, hook me up. I had to call them and change it. They come out here today and hook me up, and I got the top tier thing. So now it's 150 down and like 30 up. So I shouldn't have any more issues with the live streams. But anyway, I'm going to start the daily show. I'm going to do it out here. I used to do it in Lou Jr.'s room, actually, is where I used to do the call-in show or whatever it was I called it that I was doing, because I couldn't do it out here. I had to have a computer to do it. I'm going to get a computer out here. The internet works out here now. I got a desk. I get a computer. I'm going to get whatever else I need to anyway, I'm going to do it right when I do it. So I don't know when that'll start, but once I start, it's going to be a permanent deal. Uncle Lou, did you vote for Trump? I'm going to Tennessee. I win. Ryan Leaf. Luxury vinyl tile. Tennessee did call me, but I was too busy remodeling the Lou studio to go up there this week, so I told them just look for somebody else. So I was actually the 10th person to tell Tennessee no. Coutu, Blankenship, or Walsh. I loved Walsh. Well, look, I'll take Walsh was money. Everybody knows I love Hot Rod, and I made it my personal mission in life to get that man a scholarship, and it finally paid off first week of this year, of this season. But Blair Walsh was money. I know he's bombed at Minnesota, whatever. He's missed some big kicks up there, but dude was money at UGA. Blankenship's been money this year too, though. Leads the NCAA in touchback percentage. What has he missed? 1 or 2 field goals all year. I mean, the guy's just lights out this year. Aggies ever win the West? Well, hard to say that right now. Wait and see what coach they get, but it doesn't really look like it to me. I mean, where are they right now in the pecking order of things overall in the West? Auburn, LSU, Bama, obviously ahead of them, right? Mississippi State maybe takes a step back. Ole Miss, you can forget about them. They're dead. Arkansas, dumpster fire. So, I mean, Texas A&M should be, at worst, the 4th best team out there, right? Because the other 3 teams are just terrible. Both the Mississippi schools and Arkansas, I mean, you just forget about them for a while.
In that crouch position where you want the 4-point stance so they can fire off the ball. So Brian Chapin can do it. He taken ownership of it, and boy, they can just fire off that ball. I love it. It's called the Mammoth, I believe.
Well, and it's unusual because for a quarterback, you have to adjust your stance.
Drew Posey, what's up, dude? Drew Posey, you're a scholar and gentleman. Yeah. Oh, good morning too. Good morning to your brother too. Yeah, man. How's he doing? Okay, that's good. Yeah. Thoughts of UCF at 14? I feel the same way about UCF I feel about whatever team is undefeated in the non-Power 5 every year. I think it's a good story. It's always interesting to wonder what would happen if they played one of the big boys, and hopefully we'll get to see that in a bowl game and see. But it's almost impossible for one of those teams to make the playoff. It just is.
Stay within striking distance. They'll get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, but they need points on this drive.
Tyler says, "Well, our offensive line played better this time than they did last time." I hope so. I mean, we have to play better all the way around. Offensive line and defensive line both got pushed around last time. Fromm did not look good. Let's just be real. Was he under pressure? Yeah. Guess what? Sometimes you have to make throws under pressure. Quick decisions, quick releases. So, I mean, everyone's got to play better. Penalties hurt us bad last time. Turnovers, poor special teams play, bad clock management at the end of the first half. I mean, if there was a way to do something wrong in a game, we figured out how to do it wrong against Auburn. I mean, that's just what it is. That's why I don't see any way we lose this game this time by 23 points, because I don't think it's possible for Georgia to play that bad again. Is it possible for Georgia to lose? Of course it is. I don't think it's possible for Georgia to play that bad again, though. Tim Tebow will be the new head coach of Tennessee. That'd be great news, but I seriously doubt it's going to happen. Scott Frost to FSU, that would be interesting. Breaking news: Trump declined the Tennessee job. Not even Trump can make Tennessee great again. Not even Donald Trump can make Tennessee great again. That's something serious.
Everybody mentions it when you're around the program. He's just got that quality to him. He does. He's got something he brings to the huddle that energizes, galvanizes, and in spots like this, when you need it, he's been delivering. Yeah, and it's
Frost in Nebraska. That's what I'm. Yeah, right. That seems to be. That seems to be where he's going to go.
To check at the line of scrimmage and to get them in the right play.
What's up, Travis?
Are they in their goal line offense again with the new
Lane Kiffin to FSU. Is Lane Kiffin going to get a job or not? I don't know. He's a pretty good coach. Now there's a lot of extra stuff that comes along with Lane Kiffin, and you got to be willing to take that on. So we'll see.
Scarlett again. And Scarlett. Can they help them across the line? They're going to mark him
It's a closer game than I thought. 17-14 now. Stanford just scored. 17-7, but it looks like Stanford just scored, so it'll be 17-14 at halftime, I guess. Right?
Watch Marvell tell number 7, the safety. A big safety does a nice job of pushing.
Look at this thing. I mean, this thing is just...
I mean, that is as close as you can get. Watching the progressive pylon cam, the ball in the hand of Cam Scarlett. I mean, there is nearly a pimple of leather on the front of the football touching the white goal line, but they mark it there.
I mean, when it's got a remote control, that's professional.
Scarlett getting a couple critical carries right there. You know, he has had a chance to learn watching and playing behind Bryce Love and Christian McCaffrey. Said he learned a lot about patience and vision as a runner. Had a 62-yard touchdown run against UCLA. He had 72 yards in the game that Bryce Love did not play against Oregon State.
Chuck McFerrin, who's the Pac-12 replay official, has taken a peek at this. Let's bring in Bill Lamagna, a long time Big Ten.
I mean, that's professional. All right. Bobby Bowden, I doubt that. Come on. Nicole Hardman needs to return a kick. That would be great. I've been waiting on it all year. I hold my breath every time he gets the ball for a variety of reasons. He's had a hard time holding on to it. He's exciting as hell. He's fast. He's quick. When he runs those kickoff returns, I mean, it looks like he's just going to run through a brick wall. I mean, he has no fear at all. And I just can't believe he hasn't broke one all year. So I can't think of a better time for it to happen than tomorrow. So we'll see. No one's hiring Hugh Freeze. You can forget that. Does Georgia pull from if losing? I don't know. I don't see that happening. Who is UJ's next big prospect? Well, we got Salyer, offensive guard, #1 offensive guard for class of 2018. I think he's all dog. We're in his top 3. Cade Mays, which used to be a Tennessee commit. Georgia made his top 3 list today. There's several defensive guys. I'm talking top 3 at their position that have UJ in their top 3 or top 5. UJ's already signed, 18? We got room for maybe 5 or 6 more. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think we'll definitely finish with a top 5 class again, though. Do they pull Fromm next year and play Fields? No. Fromm will be the quarterback next year. I think Fields will play, though. I think they'll have certain situations and packages that they'll put him in. I don't see him redshirting. I think he will play. But I think Fromm will be your starter, and I think that's the best way to go. We need a quarterback. We haven't had a quarterback with experience since 2013. Okay, that was the last time Georgia had a returning starting quarterback. 2014, we had a 1-year starter in Hudson Mason. 2015, we had a 1-year starter in Grayson Lambert. 2016, a 1-year starter in Jacob Eason. And now 2017, a first-year starter in Jake Fromm. That's not a recipe for success. You need to develop a quarterback over time. We got to stick with Fromm. I wanted to stick with Eason this year, but he got hurt. We had no choice. Got to put Fromm in. You got to stay with him next year. It's nice to have Fields. Gives you something different. Something more that defenses have to look at and prepare for. So I think he will play some, but I don't think he'll be the starter. No. Billy, I'm definitely excited. Georgia hasn't played in this game since 2012, so been 5 years for us. As a Georgia fan, real talk right now, I get it. Alabama fans are sort of spoiled over the last 10 years. If they're not in the playoffs or playing for a national title, they really don't care. Pretty much, Alabama's pretty much the only team, in my opinion, whose fans deserve to feel that way. If you're a Georgia fan, a Florida fan, a Tennessee fan, an Auburn fan, an LSU fan, whatever, or any other team, your goal should be to win your division and make your conference championship game. Because if you're playing in your conference championship game, there's a pretty good chance you're 1 win away from the playoffs. And there are a lot of teams in America that would take that year in and year out. And that's how I feel. My goal this year, and you can go back and watch the pregame videos, I said Georgia should win the East this year. That should be the goal, and then roll the dice in Atlanta. And that's exactly what we're doing. We won the East. We're going to roll the dice in Atlanta tomorrow. If it comes up in our favor and we win, then Georgia's on its way to the playoffs. If somehow Georgia loses tomorrow, this was a great year for Georgia. There's no other way you can look at that. Georgia has underachieved and failed to meet expectations several times over the last 10 years. This is not one of those years. We could lose 100-0 tomorrow. This has still been a successful season for Georgia. There's no one that picked Georgia to win the SEC. Almost everyone picked Georgia to win the East, and they all picked the team from the West to win the SEC. So there's no way you can look at Georgia and say, oh, there's Georgia underachieving again, not meeting expectations again. Georgia already met expectations. Anything we get on top of this is just extra for this year. I think we have a legitimate shot at beating Auburn. I really do. Auburn beat us bad the first time around, but like I said, a lot of things went wrong for Georgia. Auburn played one of its best games it's played in 3 or 4 years in that game. Turned right around, play Alabama last week. Auburn is beat up. It's very hard for these college kids to get up for game after game after game after game. And this, you know, they had to be up for the Georgia and the Alabama game, but those were at home. This is the third time in 4 weeks Auburn's playing a top 5, top 6 team. Hard to get up that many times in a row. I think Georgia has a chance to pull it off tomorrow and win. Things got to go Georgia's way. We have to play a lot better than last time. Maybe force Auburn into a couple of mistakes, or like I said, we can get a special teams touchdown or something. That might help. But I do think Georgia can win the game tomorrow. Yeah, I will probably, I'll go live in the morning. I don't know if I'll go live right at 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'll try to go live at 9 a.m. like I have been every Saturday. Not sure if I'm going to be able to swing that. My daughter is spending the night tonight at a friend's house and has to be picked up. It's a birthday party, slumber party thing. And she has to be picked up at a certain time in the morning. And that may interfere with me going live right at 9. But I will go live tomorrow sometime during college game day. Hopefully at 9, but if not, maybe at 10 or 10:30, or even if it's at 11, and I'll stream for the last hour of college game day or whatever. And then, of course, I think last Saturday I made 4 or 5 videos. And that's another reason I took Sunday and Monday off. I just wore myself out with the videos on last Saturday. But I'll make videos tomorrow anytime I need to. So I'll obviously have a halftime video for the Georgia game. I'll have a post-game reaction to the Georgia and Auburn game. And I'll probably make another video or 2 at some point during the day based on the outcomes of the other games. And then Sunday morning I'll have sort of a morning after type video where I'll either be waking up really, really depressed Sunday morning and you'll get to see me mope around here and bitch and moan and complain and cry. Or I'll probably be one of the most obnoxious, unbearable people you've ever seen on YouTube. Depending on how that Georgia game goes. People keep asking me, what are you going to do if Georgia loses tomorrow? I don't know. I don't ever know what I'm going to do if Georgia loses. So I have no clue. There's no way for me to know how I'm going to feel after a loss. It depends. The last time when we lost to Auburn, that game was pretty much over midway through the third quarter. So I had an hour and a half to sit around and accept that before I made the video. So I wasn't all that pissed off in the post-game video. These games that we, like the Tennessee game, the Georgia Tech game, I'm talking about last year, the Tennessee game, the Georgia Tech game, the Vanderbilt game, these games where I really blew up at the end, those were games we should have won, and we somehow managed to lose them in the final minute of the game. And so I'm recording these post-game videos as soon as the game is over. Well, if we just blew it 5 minutes before I hit record, I'm still pissed off. So that's why the Ole Miss game from last year when we got blown out, if you watch that post-game video, you don't see me ranting and hollering and all that. I mean, I had an hour and a half to know we were losing that game before I had to record the post-game video. So I don't know. We'll see. But I expect Georgia to win the game tomorrow. So if it doesn't work, if it doesn't go that way, I can tell you right now I'm not going to be happy. When we lost to Auburn the first time, I told people during the week, it doesn't matter. Georgia can lose this game, it doesn't matter. And guess what? It didn't matter. I mean, whether we had beat Auburn or lost Auburn like we did, we would still be in the same exact spot we're in right now. Exactly the same. If we had beat Auburn 2 weeks ago, we would still have to win tomorrow to make the playoff. It's just the way it is. A 12-0 Georgia was not going to make the playoff losing the SEC championship game. It just wasn't going to happen. So whether we beat Auburn or not, and that's what I tried to tell people the week leading up to the Auburn game, and they're like, oh, he's just making excuses because he knows he's going to lose. No. No. It wasn't an excuse. It was reality. That game didn't matter in terms of making the playoff or not at that point. And when you're ranked in the top 5 in November, that's what you're talking about. When you're talking about something matters or not, we're talking about the playoffs there. So no, it didn't matter. We have to win tomorrow to make the playoff. Simple. That game mattered for Auburn, and that was it. And that's what I told you. I said that game meant everything to Auburn. I said that leading into the game. I said this Auburn's season and Gus Malzahn's job is on the line. This game means absolutely everything to Auburn and nothing to Georgia. And that was true. That was 100% true and accurate. Auburn won the game, beat a high school team the following week, beat Alabama last week. Now here they are in the SEC title game. You know, Auburn's been win or go home for 3 weeks in a row now, okay? This is Georgia's first elimination game, okay? First one. So we'll see. If we lose this game, obviously we're out of the playoff, okay? If we win, we're obviously in it. So we'll see. So with that being said, though, I won't take the loss as well this time. I know, as well as I took it last time, because it will mean something if Georgia loses this time. And if Georgia wins, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's been so long since we won the SEC, 12 years. I have no clue. I don't even, I don't know.
Brought to you by Taco Bell. Try the tasty grilled chicken tacos. Back for a limited time. Sam Darnold and USC currently.
Yeah, I'm going to try not to break another TV. I'm going to get rid of this one, too. I've been keeping it as a souvenir. I've been keep this thing as a souvenir forever. Just broke TV here, but I'm gonna get rid of it. In fact, the trash came today. I should have put it out at the road today. I didn't think about it. All right, they're doing the pick'ems on here. Let's see who they pick to win the games tomorrow. Joey Galloway and Jesse Palmer picking the winners tomorrow. So they both picked Central Florida to beat Memphis. I agree. I think Central Florida wins and runs the table. All right, TCU and Oklahoma up now. Let's see who they pick.
Oklahoma's defense has played so much better the last 3 games. They need to be ready for TCU in this game, though, to run the ball more. I think TCU is going to take a lot more shots deep down the field, but I think the improved defense will still show up. And again, Baker
both picked Oklahoma. I picked Oklahoma too. So far they agree with Uncle Lou. Georgia Auburn now.
They do. They've been so dominant, knocking off 2 number ones. Georgia when they were number 1, Alabama when they were number 1. Too physical up front for Georgia.
If Kerryon Johnson was not playing in this game or does not play, I would pick Georgia to win. I think in the game of this magnitude, though, their best player on offense and
they both picked Auburn. But Jesse Palmer did say if for some reason Kerryon Johnson can't play or is limited, then he thinks Georgia will win.
We'll play for Ohio State in this game. Yes. Took care of the knee, got the cutlass out of the way. No problems there. Knee will be good. Ohio State will win. And
he didn't even enter the game. He buried you. He did bury the win.
Joey picked Ohio State to win.
I don't think it matters who Ohio State plays a quarterback. I've fallen in love with
Jesse picked Wisconsin.
their ability to stop the run, and Alex Hornibrook making big throws at big moments.
Has Wisconsin ever won a national title? Does anybody know? I honestly don't know. I would guess no, but maybe they have won one that I don't know about, or it's slipping my mind. No? I didn't. Okay, no. Okay.
Kelly Bryant's going to have a big game. Malik Rozier, they're going to struggle. Here's what I'm going to do, Advan. I thought about it, okay? And I'm going to switch up. Clemson is going to win the ACC championship game. You're brutal.
Joey picked Clemson.
Mine is coming out there. That is brutal. It was not brutal. Clemson is going to win this game. Mine is coming out their worst offensive game of the year against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Chris Herndon, though, a tight end for Miami, is not going to play because of an injury. Amon Richards is probably their best receiver, also not playing. Joey didn't even know that. We told you earlier Miami's going in the playoffs.
He's saying I got your Chris Herndon right here.
This is how it looks right.
Both picked Clemson. Miami's top 2 receivers are out. I didn't know that. Well, they're starting tight end, and then Amon Richards. Amon Richards is good, too. I think he was ACC Freshman of the Year last year. But he's been injured a lot this year. So, anyway, they said the Miami tight end and that Amon Richards are out. So, Clemson should roll tomorrow. Clemson wins by 27. I could see that game getting ugly, for sure.
Shredded chicken rolled up with your choice of dips, only in Taco Bell. When my hair's too long, I don't feel right. But when I get a cut, I'm me again. And trust falls, they don't even scare me anymore.
That pomade really broke my fall.
Get back to greatness. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Mark Richt choke again? Yeah, probably.
He dedicated his life to making gear that got people outside.
UGA is an inbred school? That doesn't even make any sense, sir.
By working side by side with guys to build technical gear designed to fit today's adventures. Because just like Eddie, we believe that life is better out here, where it's wild, beautiful, and meant to be shared.
Lou Jr.'s inside playing Xbox. He was out here a little while ago before I started the video. He helped me hook the lights up.
What hay? Nothing works faster than maintain a distant memory. Add the liquid gels.
You want to hear Lou Jr. do the Gamecocks song? I'll see if I can get him to do it for you in the morning. I'm not going to go in there and bother him right now. He gets mad when you interrupt him when he's playing. He plays online, so, you know, he gets mad if you go in there and interrupt him about something.
Just like Santa, our elves build it, and a guy in red delivers.
Research takes time. Breakthroughs don't come easy.
Hey, Game Chicken, have you seen the one where, this is going to sound bad when I say it, but there's a YouTube video where he's taking a shower, and I just opened the door. The camera is facing the floor, but I opened the bathroom door, and he's in there taking a shower, and I say, hey, Lou Jr., and he goes, what? And I go, dun, 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 and he's in the shower, and he goes, South Carolina sucks. I forget which video that I would never be able to find it, but that was a good one.
Who's going to be in when it's all said and done?
Make a trash can for South Carolina? No, I can't. That's a Tennessee thing. Tennessee owns that. That's all theirs. It wouldn't be right, I don't think, to make that for another team, unless for some reason. Now, if Will Muschamp wants to hire, you know, some mook off the street to run around on the sideline with a trash can over his head like Tennessee did, then I'll be more than willing to make a South Carolina trash can. But unless that happens, I'm sticking with just the Tennessee trash can.
Jimbo Fisher is leaving Tallahassee. 10 years, $75 million, fully guaranteed to coach Texas A&M. What a national championship.
South Carolina will be picked to finish second in the East next year, I think. Unless the media hops on the Dan Mullen hype train. I just don't think there's the amount of talent at Florida that Florida fans think is there. I just don't. They say Dan Mullen is the quarterback guru or whatever. I don't think there's anything anybody can do with Felipe Franks or that other jobber y'all have. I just don't think they're that good. So even if Mullen turns out to be a great coach at Florida, it seems to me it's going to take at least a couple of years for them to turn it around down there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that the preseason predictions for next year will be UGA 1, South Carolina 2, either Florida or maybe Missouri 4th. They came on at the end of the year. I don't know. Played some bad teams, though. The East will be bad again next year, though. It just will. Tennessee's a complete... I mean, just forget about Tennessee for the next year or two. They'll be lucky to make a bowl game. Vanderbilt, no, they won't be any good next year. Kentucky, I'm never a believer in them. They may make a bowl game again, which is good for them. I'm not knocking them. That's good for them. But as far as competing for the East, I think it's going to come down to Georgia and South Carolina next year. And we have to play South Carolina in Columbia next year, week 2, back to the normal spot next year. Instead of playing them in November, we back to our regular week 2 or 3 in Columbia. So that'll be a big game next year. Debo coming back again next year? Seems like that dude's been there forever. He's good though. Hey, Olin Nertz. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I appreciate that. No, South Carolina's not going 12-0, no.
Did you say sure thing? In my experience,
It's almost impossible nowadays to go 12-0. Look at Alabama. Alabama's had one undefeated season under Nick Saban. It's almost impossible to go undefeated. Very hard to go undefeated.
that never stop growing. With New York Life, all you have to do is pay your
Hey, Caleb, what's up?
cash value growing to
You working late, huh?
delicious pile of money you can use later.
Yeah, Dog Nation still has me blocked. Just their Facebook page, though, not their actual website. Just their Facebook page. Chip Towers blocked me from. I mean, I can go to the Dog Nation page and I can read their posts on Facebook. When Dog Nation goes live on Facebook, I can watch the videos. I just can't comment. They blocked me from commenting. Chip Towers blocked me from commenting when I made that video about him last year. Chip Towers is a writer for Dog Nation. He used to work for AJC. He might still work for the AJC, but he's a writer for a Facebook page called Dog Nation. Or it's actually a website, but they have a Facebook page, Dog Nation, and they do a lot of live videos and daily podcasts and stuff like that online. Anyway, not this season, but last season. So Mark Richt's first season at Miami, literally was it before the spring game or before the season? I want to say it was the week before the season started, or the week before summer practice started. It was the week before something was finally happening. So it was either the spring game, summer practice, or the first game of the year. I can't remember. Instead of going to Athens or staying in Atlanta or staying in Georgia and doing what he's supposed to be doing, which is writing about Georgia, doing news about Georgia, focusing on Georgia, this idiot, Chip Towers, went and spent a week in Miami doing nothing but stories on the Miami Hurricanes and Mark Richt. He stayed at Mark Richt's house, interviewed Mark Richt in Mark Richt's living room. For like 5 days he was down there. I want to say it was the week. I want to say it was the week that practice started. So you finally had stuff to talk about, like, what's going on at practice, who looks good, what freshmen are looking good, what's the depth chart look like. No, we didn't get none of that from Chip Towers. All we got was, this is Mark Richt's new house in Miami. He's fitting in well in South Beach. He found a new Baptist church to lead. He's doing what baptisms, whatever. A whole 5 days worth of stories on Mark Richt. That made me mad enough. Then I found out he was actually down there, and it just pissed me off. So I made a video about it and went off on him. And then the next day or the day before or that day or something, he was live on Facebook Live video on that Dog Nation page. And I was in the comment section, just get on I-95, go south, stay down there, don't come back. We don't want or need you. Let it go. You won't quit writing about Mark Richt. He's gone. You're a Georgia guy. This is a Georgia page. Your job is to write news and blah, blah, blah about yada, 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 on and on and on, because it pissed me off. You have to remember, too, what was going on at that time. Half the fan base was still in love with Mark Richt and mad that we fired him and blah, 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 and Kirby will never do this, and we made a mistake, and blah, blah, blah. So I was spending 90% of my time arguing with idiot UGA fans, and then here comes Chip Towers, supposed to be a Georgia writer, and he's got his head stuck so far up Mark Richt's butt, he can tongue his tonsils. And it just pissed me off. And anyway, so Chip Towers blocked me from commenting. So that's that. Dude won $100,000 for throwing footballs into a Dr. Pepper can.
Intuition money for deserving students. You can check that out at drpeppertuition.com. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper, the one fans crave.
Dude, crying. $100,000 though. I might cry too.
Come on, well, look at him cash the big check. Bryce loves the big dog. He has his 37-year-old.
I don't like or not like an announcer just because they're male or female. But I do hate that one female announcer that announces a lot of the games. It's not because she's female, I just don't like her. I mean, I also hated Vern Lundquist. I also hate Brent Musburger. There's several announcers that I just hate, but it's not necessarily because they're a male or a female. But I have a feeling I know that one female. I know who you're probably talking about, and no, I don't like her. I can't stand her. I like Brad Nessler. Yeah, I like him. He almost makes Gary Danielson, you know, bearable. Vern Lundquist, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Vern was okay. The last 5 years, Vern had no business calling games. He didn't know any of the players' names. He pronounced all the names wrong. He would screw everything up. I mean, the guy was just, you know, he stayed on about 5 years too long.
Whether you saved a lot or just a little. At PNC Investments, we believe you're more than just a number. So we provide personal financial advice for every retirement investor.
In the Pac-12, we're known for pushing
All right,
boundaries.
Ron Jeremy, I told you, man, you got to be more creative. I love trolling.
There are no limits to the competition.
Let's see, what should I do? Should I block him, remove him, or put him in timeout? Let's put him in timeout. I just put him in timeout, and then next time we'll block him. I just put him in timeout. We'll see. A lot of times you put somebody in timeout a time or two, they learn their lesson. I don't mind the trolling, but be creative about it. Just talking about licking buttholes or whatever I don't even know what it said, but same thing you've typed about 5 times already. But just try to be creative about it.
The right wiper blades make all the difference. That's why there's new Michelin Premium Hybrid wiper blades with exclusive SmartFlex technology. Log-free all-season performance, helping you see better and drive safer.
Oh, that was probably 2 years ago, that Lou Jr. video. Yeah, that was probably 2 years ago. Yeah, see, yeah, I got to go too. It's late. This is an hour and a half now. But I kind of shorted you guys on the videos this week, so I decided to do a live one for you tonight. And I'll do one again in the morning. But I'm going to watch the rest of this Pac-12 game, I guess. And then call it a day, get a good night's sleep, so I'm well rested to celebrate my SEC championship tomorrow. But appreciate all y'all watching. I love talking football with you guys. These are fun to do. So anyway, I'll see y'all in the morning. Y'all take it easy.